Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markle. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markle.
All right, let's get right into it. Welcome back to another episode of a Morning Mindset Podcast. And we are on iHeart Radio and iTunes and Stitcher and all of those good things. But if for some reason your favorite podcast player is not working that morning or that afternoon, you can always go directly to our dedicated website. And the dedicated website is morningmindsetpodcast.com. And the audio links will be there, as well as the show notes and all the other good stuff. And if you'd like to send us a message or ask us a question or what have you, you can do so directly from our dedicated website. How easy is that? It is super easy. Yes, indeed. When is the last time that you took the time to truly appreciate good service? Have you taken that time? And have you gotten any good service lately? Have you done business with a company that went above and beyond? Have you eaten at a restaurant or shopped at a store where they went above and beyond the norm to give you good service, a good product, a good experience, good service? Do you show your appreciation, or do you just expect that as a given? You're like, well, that's their job. They should be doing it right, and I'm not going to thank them for doing their job right. You can be that way. That's true. The fact of the matter is we live in a world where, unfortunately, more people will complain than will praise. Unfortunately, that is why when you have a podcast like I do, there's a reason why folks like me and all of the others that do podcasts and television shows and all that on-demand stuff, that we'll actually ask you. We will say, if you enjoyed today's show, please leave a review. Because unfortunately, the reality is most people, if they have a good experience, they just appreciate that experience in their own heart. They think, oh, that was a good experience and I'll go back again. But they don't say anything about it. But those who feel that they were slighted, that they didn't get a good experience, somehow that it was a bad experience, or they didn't get exactly what they wanted when they wanted it, well, they'll complain. It seems that the only time you hear from people is when they have something to complain about. Now, Morning Mindset is all about leading a positive and productive life. And one of the ways to lead a positive and productive life is not just to be a complainer. That's what everyone does. That's the easy default to the world. People only speak up when they have something negative to say. Do you want to be that person? Do you want to be the person that only speaks up, that only says something when they have something bad to say? Do you ever have anything good to say? Have you ever taken the time to let someone know, even if it's a complete stranger, that they did a good job and that you appreciate it? It's also a sign of maturity. It's also a sign of mental maturity for you to thank people that do a good job and genuinely mean it. We've had a really positive experience since we moved to Wyoming. Since my family moved to Wyoming, we moved the entire business up here to Wyoming. And the first year we were here, we decided that we wanted to give out Christmas gift baskets to our friends and family members. And we wanted to do something special, something, from the West, something that represented the West and Wyoming. And we found a company called the Wyoming Buffalo Company, or wyobuffalo.com. And my wife, it was her job. It was her job to come up with the gift baskets and arrange them and send them out and so forth. And she was having kind of a hard time. She actually tried several different companies, and she got really super frustrated. She was extremely frustrated. All she wanted to do was send out gift baskets to our friends and family members, and she found out that she was being led down these clickbait sites, or that they were bait and switching. They would say, "Oh, this gift basket is $29.99," and you're like, "Oh, that seems like a good deal," and then you find out that it's $20 shipping, or that gift basket is a limited thing and the actual one is $49.99, and so on and so forth. Well, my wife stumbled across this company called the Wyoming Buffalo Company. And what Wyoming Buffalo does is they send out gift baskets and all kinds of Western Americana type stuff, like meat. That's right. And sauces and salsa and all these. There's just too much stuff to mention. Well, they took care of her. The woman, she called her up and she said, "Hey, I'm having a hard time. I need some help." And she said, "What can I do for you?" And she was fantastic. And so actually during this year, when it was not Christmas time, my wife sent her a card, sent her a note, said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I really appreciate all the effort that you put into helping me, for going the extra mile." We had one situation where a gift basket got lost in shipping. It was something happened. The shippers lost it, didn't send it, what have you. And the person that because we sent everyone a heads up, or like, "Heads up, there's a package coming. Let us know when you get it." And the person said, "I never received anything," and they should have gotten it. So we called the folks, my wife did. She called the folks at this company, Wyoming Buffalo Company. And she said, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry that happened." And she put together and shipped out a replacement basket that day. Wasn't her fault. Wasn't the company's fault. It was the shipper's fault, because they were morons and they lost it. But that didn't do us any good. Matter of fact, she shipped it before we even gave her payment. This Christmas season and all year long, take the time to let people know when they do a good job. It's a sign of maturity on your part, and it'll probably be a relief on their part, because let's face facts. Most of the time, if you have a small business, if you work in a restaurant or a store or a shop, the only time you hear from people is when they have something bad to say. Do you want to be that person? Do you want to be the person that only speaks up when they have something negative or bad to say? I hope not. That's not what this show is all about. I'm not saying to ignore, if somebody screws up or does something bad or poor or you get bad service. I'm not saying to ignore that, but don't let that be the only time that you speak up. If somebody does a good job, let them know. Tell them that you appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I am your host, Paul Markle, and I will talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markle, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.